Hello. I've been learning about the cognitive reflection test, which assesses people's ability to quickly recognise when something is more complex than at first appears. There are a few short questions that seem easy and the answers obvious. Yet, when the vast majority of people confront these questions, they get the answers wrong. Why? Well, it seems that when the correct response to a challenge seems obvious, we don't give that challenge our full attention and basic, vital information is missed. Of course, when the right answers to the questions are revealed, it's really frustrating because with just a little more focus, the correct response actually is obvious. If you'd like to test your cognitive prowess, contact me now and I'll send you a question or two. The creators of the test found that the way to help more people get the answers right first time was not to make the questions even easier, but counterintuitively, to make them a little harder. When they printed the questions in a 10% grey on white, in 10-point italics, making the words difficult to read, people concentrated, paying closer attention, avoiding the subtle trip-ups hidden in the questions. The cognitive recognition test offers a lesson that should be applied in achieving effective leadership communications. For important leadership messages to land and achieve the right outcome, we don't necessarily need to resort to using hard-to-read text, but we can introduce intrigue, drawing the target audience in, capturing imaginations, encouraging people to get under the skin of the message, focusing on the goals underpinning it, promoting a personal investment in the right outcome. Intrigue is a facet of story, and story has a big part to play in successful leadership engagement. Once upon a not too long ago, I met with the leader of one of the world's biggest telecoms organisations. A big transformation had to take place, and the leader was rightly concerned that many of his highly skilled workforce would not quickly grasp the value of change and leave, taking their skills to competitors. The obvious thing to do was to issue a directive, an uncomplicated assertion of the facts that hopefully would deliver the right response and outcome. But we all know directives have a habit of alienating people, creating barriers between leaders and the teams who must stay the course. The leader I was working with recognised that a simple, uncompromising directive was not likely to gain trust, confidence and commitment. He asked me to help him develop an alternative and effective communication solution. So I embedded with teams around the country for about a week. I got to know the people on the ground and the nature of their day-to-day activities. I then recommended a communication strategy and execution that boldly delivered leadership plans in an intriguing way through a story, a series of light-hearted TV-style episodes that explored the daily experience of characters who very closely resembled the people whom the messaging was aimed at. The relatable story revealed the benefits associated with change in a way that rang true. Yes, the audience had to pay more attention, but the metrics proved that the audience wanted to pay more attention. The story created a platform for greater connection between leaders and teams, along with a willingness across the organisation to be part of the real story as it evolved. Rather than lose people, the business saw applications to join grow, and within 48 months, the business was the most profitable within the group. The leadership decision to communicate through an intriguing story played a big part in achieving the right response and outcome. Great leaders know that sometimes not doing the obvious is really the obvious thing to do. This kind of bespoke leadership communication demands a unique blend of skill, sensitivity and experience, focused on shaping the right narrative for every key message. As well as possessing the necessary skills to create speeches, speaker support, animations, video, audio, digital content, podcasts, and on, At 2, we also have genuine experience telling stories that engage in areas such as cinema and broadcast television, ensuring that leadership communications land in exactly the right place, with exactly the right amount of impact, at exactly the right time. To find out more about how we can put our expertise to work, you can request a 2 prospectus that includes illuminating case studies, including a little more detail about the story I've shared in this video. 2 is uncompromising in the pursuit of leadership success, as uncompromising as every leader we work with.